All right, welcome back to the podcast. I'll get right into it here. I'm going to answer questions from our patrons, channel members, and the Sailing Doodles Navy. If you would like your question answered in the next one, head over to one of the links popping up here. That's patreon.com/sailingdoodles. And I do these about once a week. So I'll start off with the most common asked question this week is the new catamaran and future plans. So Dave asks, so are you going to do a raffle on the Nauti Dogs? So Nauti Dogs is this boat right here, 1989 CT56. I figure it's worth around between $170,000 to $200,000, something like that. I don't know. It's hard to say, you know, with a classic boat like this. I mean, this was back in the day, back in '89. This was like a premier world cruising sailboat. There weren't too many boats better, you know, if you want to go sailing around the world. And it's still, I mean, it's built to quality, right? I mean, you know, the teak in it and there's the level of finish out and the comfort of this boat is a lot. And so I think it's worth that. So what I talked about doing is, so I'm getting a new catamaran, if you don't know. It's a brand new Island Spirit 525, 52-foot cat, and I'm getting hull number 5. Hull number 3 will be at the Annapolis Boat Show in a few weeks. So October 9th through the 12th. There's a link down in the description if you want to get tickets. And if you want to see my new boat, it will be available to walk through there at the Annapolis Boat Show. If you are interested in actually buying it or do something like that, then there's also a link in the description where you can make an appointment to get kind of a one-on-one walkthrough with the broker and myself, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I'm getting hull number 5. It'll be finished by the end of the year. And so I don't necessarily need this boat anymore. And so I had thought about several things to do with it. I thought about just keeping the boat and like parking it somewhere and using it kind of as a vacation spot. I've kind of ruled that out. It's just why have the extra expense? Because, you know, then I'm going to be paying a couple $1,000s a month just to store it. If not, and then it's going to deteriorate. And what if I don't get back to it for 6 months? And, you know, you really shouldn't let a boat sit that long. And, you know, if bad things happen. So I decided not to hang on to it. So for a while I was even thinking about, and I might still do this, honestly. I was thinking about finding a couple that could launch a spin-off channel with Sailing Doodles. And I probably still will do that, but just not with this boat. You know, we'll see how it goes. What I've decided, what I talked about doing with this boat for a while is raffling it off. So I don't know if you know Spirit Animal. Great YouTube channel. They've really grown a lot lately. They got a new boat. It's crazy what they're doing. They're rehabbing an old hurricane damaged catamaran. So they raffled off their old boat. I think it was pretty successful for them. I know there was a lot of legal hurdles to go through, and that was my main thing on why I didn't want to do a raffle, is because you have to hire lawyers to set it all up. And because if you don't do it right, I'm not 100% sure. I'm no lawyer. This is not legal advice. I'm not a doctor. I did stay at a Holiday Inn Express a few weeks ago. So don't, you know, look it up. I don't know if I'm talking right or out of my butt. But, you know, you got to get legal stuff to do, because if you don't do it right, you can be sued and all these other things, because otherwise it's considered gambling. So you have to offer a free way to enter and stuff like that. I'm not sure how that all works. And so that was going to be a major expense, and I didn't want to have to hire lawyers and run it and all that, because that would have cost a lot of money to do all that. But I found another website that has, it's kind of like they just take a percentage. So that you run it, they run everything, right? So they handle processing all the stuff. They handle, you know, setting up the web page for it. They handle the drawing and notifying the winners, and they handle the free ways to enter. They handle all that stuff for you, and they take 10% of the cut. And it's great too, because like I can put a limit on the, so like say, you know, I say the boat's worth $200,000. That was my fear too, is by doing it the way of running it all myself, is like, what if I were to do all that and spend $40,000 on lawyers and setting it up or whatever, and then it doesn't raise enough to cover the costs of owning the boat and all that. So that kind of scared me a little, so I didn't want to do it. But this other website, you can put like a reserve price on it, and if it doesn't meet the reserve, then they still do a drawing, and then the winner of that drawing gets 50% of everything that, so like, say it was $100,000. You know, I'm sure the winner of that would still be pretty happy with getting $50,000 cash prize instead of getting the boat, right? So there's that. So it takes a lot of the risk out of it, and I'm going to do it. So I haven't set it up yet. You know, void where prohibited. This is not a sales pitch for it. I have a meeting with that company next week. So that's probably what I'm going to end up doing with the boat. And then we'll see how it goes from there. So before I continue on the rest of the questions there, if you are watching this on YouTube, can you do me a favor? Just while you're sitting there, it'll take you less than a minute. Open up your phone, go to Spotify or wherever you get your audio podcasts, and just hit subscribe to the Sailing Doodles podcast. Maybe give us a review or a listen in your car sometime. And because it's the Sailing Doodles podcast is doing very well on YouTube. It only has like 50,000 subscribers, but the average video is getting 75 to sometimes even 75,000, 100,000 views, sometimes even 300,000 or 400,000 views. So it's doing quite well on YouTube, but on the audio formats like Spotify, and all that, it's only getting maybe each episode's maybe getting 500 or 600 listens. So it'd be nice if we could kind of boost that up and help it grow in the charts on the audio podcast. And it's a free way, an easy way to help me out and help me to inspire me to create more content for you. All right, so Schmoops, of interest in similar questions. What do you plan for the boat after delivery of the cat? So I'm going to do probably the raffle, but I haven't decided yet. This is from Bill. Bobby, I really think it's time to switch over to a new boat. Catamaran seems ideal. I agree. I hope everything works out with your insurance for the new boat. Yeah. Yes. So insurance, I'm sure that'll be a question here in a minute. We are in the settlement process now. So, nothing is set in stone and there's not even been, but we're in that process now. So that's good news. And I can't really talk about it much, especially at the moment, because that's kind of the whole process. We're not really, we can't really talk about the process. And so I haven't signed anything on anything like that yet. But when I do sign like an NDA or whatever about the process, I won't be able to discuss it anymore. Yeah. And not that I've really discussed it much at all anyway. But that's just what it is. So until the whole settlement is done, I can't really talk about it. Anyway. So Matt, excited to see the new boat and adventures it will bring. Yeah, so I will be getting the new catamaran. I agree, Kat. I love this boat. Oh my gosh, sorry, the dogs are playing with toys now. That's great. I love this boat. It's so comfortable in marinas and at anchor and all that. It's a great world cruiser. But being on this boat for the better part of the last year has really made me decide I kind of want a catamaran. I love the interior space of this boat. Like, this boat has a great interior space for hanging out and entertaining indoors. And if you want to live in a marina or whatever, you're not going to be sailing around the world, this is a great boat for it. This is a great boat to go around the world too. But being on a catamaran when you're sailing, you're not heeled over. It handles rough weather a little bit better, in my opinion, because you're not heeled over. You're not rolling side to side. And so yesterday I did some editing upstairs, and it's really hard to because I have my laptop in my lap in the cockpit up there, and trying to edit, it's not great. Whereas on the catamaran, it's got the fly bridge with the table upstairs. I can bring my laptop up, and I can be working upstairs while we're underway and still have a 360-degree view of everything that's going on. And so I'm really looking forward to getting on the catamaran and doing that. So my plan is that the boat should be finished by the end of the year. I'm going to, hopefully it'll go for a couple weeks in December and look at it, and then I'll go back at the end of January and start sailing from there, and we'll see where we go. I plan to just stay in Asia for a while with it, and then over to the Med, and then cross the Atlantic and all that. So we'll see what the future brings with all that. Okay, well, there's no name on this one. Who do you want to be first crew on the new boat? Well, it doesn't really matter, honestly. I'd prefer to have a partner, like a girlfriend, to go travel the world together. Other than that, repeat crew or whatever. Lauren's great. She's a super huge help. I don't know. Maybe Geraldine, that'd be great too. But both of them kind of have their own thing going on. Geraldine's, a corporate flight attendant, and she works a lot, and she lives in Europe. Lauren has her own YouTube channel to run, and she's doing all that. She's coming back. So this whole series that I filmed with her just kind of wrapped up. But she'll be back in a few weeks, or a month rather. And she might even be in Annapolis. Oh no, that's right. She's not gonna be in Annapolis. Forgot about that. But she's gonna sail with me in November. And then, whatever. But I'd really like to find a girlfriend to go travel around the world with. It's just better when you can have a significant other that you want to go experience the world with. It's better than, sure, it's great to have friends and crew and all that, but it's better when you can have somebody you really care about. So I mean, I really don't know who that would be. So where is the destination you want to explore when you get the new boat? Okay. So yeah, I think the first part, so pick it up in Thailand. And actually, you know what? I emailed, I guess I need to call them. Maybe they don't respond to their emails. So I emailed a passport company to inquire about getting a Thai visa. Because if you just show up, you can show up to Thailand without a visa, but you're only good for 30 days. If you do one beforehand, it's good for 60 days. And then I believe you can extend another 30 or 60. I'm not sure. I think it's 30. So you can stay for 90 days. All you have to do to reset it is just leave and come back. But that's kind of a pain depending on where I am. So I'll go to Thailand, pick it up. I'd like to get like a visa. Ow, I just hit my funny bone on my own thing there. Anyway, I'd like to go, I'll get the visa thing sorted out no matter what. But I'd like to go sail around Thailand for a good, 2 or 3 months. And then sail down to like Malaysia and Indonesia, down to Bali, maybe even a little bit further east from there over to the Komodo Islands and do that. And then head back the other way, back up Malaysia. This time go on the west side of Singapore and go up the other side, do the other side of Thailand, over to Phuket and all that. So that'll take the better part of a year, honestly. And then from there, sail across the Indian Ocean to the Maldives and then the Seychelles. And then the spring of 27, like April, May or something, ship the boat from the Seychelles to the Mediterranean. I have no desire to take the boat myself through the Red Sea and all that, so I'm going to skip that part. That's just asking for trouble, especially with all the crappy things that are going on in the world. I mean, like an American going through Egypt and all that, all it takes is one goof up and then they own your boat and you're screwed. Or, I mean, you're a target for the Houthis and all that crap, I mean, like, and I don't even know. I mean, will that stuff even be, surely it's resolved by then. Like, it can't, if all the crappy wars are still going on over there in the spring of 27, man, we've really screwed up as a world. Hopefully that stuff gets resolved soon. Anyway, so that's kind of the plan. Ship it to the Med and the 27th, so spend all summer in the Med, 2027, up into the fall. I don't know. And then we'll see what happens. So we'll see. I don't know after that. And then, maybe do another season in the Med, or maybe across the Atlantic in the fall of 27. I'm more inclined to just maybe do another summer 28 in the Med, and then cross the Atlantic in 28, and then we'll see. But that's it there. All right. So now on to sailing tech and boat handling. This is from Dojeb. Hi Bobby, we're considering taking our 420 Sundancer diesel, nice, that's a better way to do it, from Naples to the Keys and down to the Caribbean. We have a 4-year-old Garmin. Do you think we need another chart plotter? And do we really need radar and sonar if we're not planning on night passages? So yeah, 4-year-old Garmin I'm sure is just fine. They're great. I mean, honestly, like, your chart plotter is great, but I use my phone most of the time because, your chart plotter, you got to be sitting in front of the chart plotter, and it makes it a little more difficult for planning routes. Where I use my phone, I can just easily set waypoints, and like I can even have it build my own route for me. I can tell it, I mean, I'm sure the Garmin can do it too, but I use my phone for all that stuff. And then the Garmin to maintain heading and then double check everything and then check for depth and all that. So, I mean, I think you're fine with an old 4-year-old Garmin. It's a good thing that you have diesel. That's the way to go. I think you'd be very comfortable with that. Do you need radar and sonar if you're not planning on night passages? Well, you definitely need a depth meter. I'm assuming by sonar you mean like a forward-looking sonar? No, you don't. You're fine in that thing. You probably, draw 4 feet in that? Maybe not even. You're fine. Radar, I mean, it's nice to have when it's nice to have. I mean, 99% of the time I don't need it, but it is nice to have. For $3,000 all in, including setting up a little, mount up there. You could do that. Just be able to. I guess in their Sundancer, you're pretty fast. You can dodge thunderstorms anyway. So it's not, I would say it's not required for you to do that. It's a nice thing to have. And I would say mostly just for thunderstorms and all that. On a boat like this, I can only do 7 knots, right? So like if it's stormy out, I'll turn on the radar so I can paint, thunderstorm cells so I can hopefully try to avoid them. But in your Sundancer, I think it'd be a little bit easier because you're going to be going a lot faster to avoid all that stuff. It's a nice to have and not required to have. Definitely you need a depth finder, a depth meter. But I think you're fine on your chart plotter. From Jason, can you explain the motor synchronization for 2-engine boats, master and slave? So you have one of them, if you have it set to, sync. Basically, it's just, I don't know if it's, it's exactly matching the RPM. It might just be, so there's like an oscillation. So one will be, when you hear like an airplane to take off, right? And its engines aren't sync. You'll hear wah, 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 because the engines aren't in sync. So one's going wah when the other one's going wah. And the little wave patterns overlap and they cross each other and it's real annoying. Whereas when you put them in sync, they'll match up their wave patterns and then it's just a steady hum instead of a wah, 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 wah. I mean, honestly, I don't know how they work on boats. Like, are they just matching RPM or is it actually trying to match that wave? I mean, is it listening? I don't know. So, like, that's what it does, though. It matches the sound wave, basically. So, yeah, that's an interesting question. From Tomcat. Howdy, Bobby. In a couple of videos with Lauren, the boat wouldn't start because of air in the fuel line. Has that issue been resolved? Yeah. So, there was a loose fitting on the secondary fuel filter. So the problem is that the fuel lines running from like the motor to that secondary fuel filter is just a little too short from how the fitting, when it's tight. So if the fuel line, if the camera is the fuel filter, the engine, and then I am the fuel filter, so it's got a fitting that connects the hose and goes there. Well, the problem is that fitting, when it's really tight, is pointed the other way from the engine. So that hose has to go all the way around and there. And so the problem is that because that hose is just a little too short, it's kind of pulling on that fuel line. And so like, vibrations from the engine will eventually it's pulling a little bit. And then the vibrations will kind of make that fitting get loose. And when it goes loose a little bit, it lets air in. I need to just get a longer fuel line. I'll do it eventually. So I've got it pretty tight right now, so it shouldn't be a problem. It's a little warm in here. I should turn on the AC. Well, I can't really turn on the AC because the compressor for the AC is right under here, so it'd be a little noisy for you guys. All right. So this is from Peter. Your experience with storing food, spoiled food, and food poisoning. How long do you keep leftovers aboard? Until they get moldy and I forgot about them in the fridge? I mean, like, I'm sure there's some in there right now. I mean, that I know there's some in there right now that every time I open that fridge, I look at it, I'm like, oh, I gotta throw that thing out. That's for like, keeping leftovers. But for storing food, whenever you can, you want to take everything out of a cardboard box, because roaches like to lay their eggs in cardboard boxes, and then you get a roach infestation. I haven't seen any roaches on this boat, so I think we're pretty good. Plus, then, the cardboard will get humid and get moldy and all that. So, like a lot of people, what they'll do is, if it's in a cereal, they'll just take the little insert plastic bag out. Or, if it's pasta that's in a box, but it's not in a bag, they'll just get Ziploc bags and put the pasta in a Ziploc bag and throw the cardboard away and do all that. So, like, generally you don't want to have cardboard on a boat. I'm not real good about that rule. But then again, I mean, like we were in Fiji and we got a really bad roach infestation on our boat because, I mean, I'm assuming it probably came in from cardboard, but it could be you're on a dock somewhere and a roach crawls in on your dock line and then there you go. And then there's, crumbs all over in the galley and all that. So, storing food, I have 2 refrigerators, one for, just food and one for beverages, and then I got a freezer. So that'd be my recommendation is get rid of all the cardboard, label the date on there, and you should be fine. A lot of people will even strip off the the paper lining off of canned food and then write on the top what it is and the date, just because that's still paper. You can get stuff in there. Food poisoning, we got it in Dominican once, but I think that was from water. So carry some just antibiotics. You should, if you're going to go cruising around the world. So you can either go down to Mexico and buy some over the counter, or there's companies that will sell you, and they're pretty expensive actually, these like offshore like med kits with everything from prescription antibiotics to painkillers and all that stuff. So it's an actual prescription, and you get it filled and you put it in there, and then whatever. So you can do all that. I mean, if you're going to go around the world, I would definitely recommend having something like that. All right, next section, destinations and adventures. Have you or would you ever sail the inland waters off the west coast of British Columbia, like Puget Sound, or the Puget Sound in Washington? That's from Dave. Well, I mean, I picked up a boat in Comox, British Columbia, on Victoria Island, and sailed it all the way down the west coast. So I did a little bit of that. The problem with going all the way up there is that, I mean, it's just a long way to go for a short sailing season, right? I mean, if you're just going to go up there and sail for 3 months and come back, it's just a long way to go. It's going to take you a couple weeks to get up there and then a couple weeks to get back. Well, I mean, not really. I mean, we did it in a week from like San Francisco to, I mean, no, it was probably a couple weeks though, but like, waiting for weather windows and stuff. So it's going to take you a couple weeks to get up there and a couple weeks to get back for a 3-month sailing season. Do you want to do that, or do you want to keep going around the world? So yeah, it's pretty up there. Short sailing season. It gets cold in the winter, and you can't swim no matter what up there. It's too cold for me. At least I can't. I'm a cold water weenie. I can't do it. So I've thought about it. It's just probably not on my cards anytime soon. Maybe when I get the trawler eventually, I'll do that, but I don't know. Have you ever thought about spending a few months in the Great Lakes? That's from Nick and Rick. Yeah. So I have a friend that has a lake house on Lake Charlevoix, and it's connected to Lake Michigan, and I've gone boating with him up there a few times, and it's gorgeous. It is really pretty up there. I would love to do some stuff like that. Again, it's kind of like, sorry, I had to sneeze for a minute. I kind of fought it away, but man, again, it's kind of like getting your boat there. That's the problem. Getting your boat to the Great Lakes is going to take a lot of time and effort, weeks. And then if you're going, depending on which way you got to go, you got to bring the mast down, or you got to go way around and come down the St. Lawrence or whatever. And it's just a long way to go for a short sailing season, and it's just not something I really want to do. I mean, I want to, but like, you got to consider how much effort it is to get there. And it's just not worth it to me right now. All right, are you considering future flotillas in the USVI and BVI? Which charter companies are receptive? Also, will there be an Annapolis discount code or sailing meetup? That's from Joe. Yes. Okay, so there will be an Annapolis meetup. I'll let you know about that. So our patrons, channel members, and the Sailing Doodles Navy, we will meet with you in Annapolis if you come to the boat show. In the description of this video or podcast, there is a discount code. Well, it's a link for the Annapolis Boat Show, so if you can use that. And then, let's see, what was the other question? Oh, the flotillas. Yeah, so we're planning one right now for Antigua for November. I'm still waiting on the charter company to get back to me with exact dates and everything. I think we're going to have, to start with, 3 boats. So I'm going to give those to, not give them, I mean, you'll have to pay for them, but we're getting a pretty good discount on them. I think we're getting a 10 or 20% discount on there for a group purchase. And then I'm not taking any cut off of that. That's just, I'm just doing like the way these flotillas work generally. I mean, well, sometimes I have gotten a referral fee on them, but mostly it's just been, I get a free boat to use for a week, and then the flotilla, they make money. The charter company makes money, chartering out the other boats. I mean, I'm sure I probably could charge more or do something like that, but then I'd have to be more involved with it. But the way it is, the charter company handles everything and do all that. So I'm surprised we don't have it already, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer that to our patrons and channel members and the Sailing Doodles Navy all at the same time, about a week before it goes public. So if you definitely want to come sail with me in Antigua, we're going to have 4 boats, my boat and then 3 other charter boats. We might be able to add more boats if those fill up quickly. But for now, we're just going to do the 4 boats. So, if you want to be able to come do that, sign up as a patron first, and then you'll get first dibs at it. And then, You don't have to have sailing experience. So what we're going to try to do for the first part is do a whole boat. So if you and 3 or 4 or 5 of your friends want to come do it, you charter the whole boat. You don't have to have sailing experience. You can hire a local captain for an additional fee. It'll be a couple $1,000s more. But if you're splitting that 4 ways to hire a captain, $500 per couple to do that, and then you don't have to worry about sailing the boat or anything. If you do need some kind, you don't have to have a license, but you do have to have some enough experience that the charter company feels comfortable them giving you $1 million yacht. So you need to either have owned your own boat or have chartered it before and have enough experience. You'll have to fill out a sailing resume. Most of the time, they're not too picky on it. I've personally not seen them like turn anybody down on their resume, but like I've heard of it. So. But what they normally do is they'll send a captain out with you for the first day or 2 just to make sure you know what you're doing, and then you can take it on your own from there. So that's that. So sign up, and then I'll get it to you. I'll have all that information to you within a week. I'm sure. I was supposed to have it. I thought this week. I'll definitely have it next week. So, all right. From Mark Reynolds, have you ever considered joining Lauren on a bike adventure? I have. I actually mentioned it. I was like, hey, why don't I come ride with you sometime? She's like, no, I like doing my own thing. I'm like, okay. So she likes doing her own riding by herself and doing all these things on her own. So that's what her channel is. So great. So I've offered, but yeah. All right. On to crew relationships. Speaking of Lauren, I'm out of beer, so I'm down to like High Noons. Not my favorite, but I got to go to the beer store. I haven't been on a dock in like weeks now. So it's kind of, and then I got the dogs. So every time I go ashore, I want to take the dogs with me because I feel like I don't want to, I want to be able to take them for a W. And then, anyway, so after I record this podcast, it's hot here. You can see I'm sweating, but I'll take the dogs ashore and then I might try to stop at a beer store. I don't know. Sometimes if I can get the dogs in with me, I don't know. But anyway, whatever. All right. Is Lauren coming back soon? Or how about Aubrey? You seem to get along well with both. You need a permanent lady in your life. That's from Glenn Goodall. I hear you, man. It's Glenn and Jackie. I hear you. So is Lauren coming back? Yeah, she'll be back. Lauren's going to be on that flotilla in November. And, okay, I didn't even think about it. I don't know what boat I'm getting yet. If we're getting a boat with enough space on it, we are going to invite either a channel member, a channel member, a patron, or the Sailing Doodles Navy. So what we'll do is once I get the boats and everything lined up, and I know our boat has enough cabins for me to offer you a cabin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on all those platforms and I'm going to make a post who can, who can and will like to join. So then I'll take the names and I'll put them in a little, hat or something and draw out randomly, and you'll get to come sail with us. So we're going to do that. So if you would like to come sailing with us for free, have your own cabin on my boat, become a patron. All right. Yeah. Is Lauren coming back? Yes, in November. Aubrey, we'll do something at some point. We're definitely going to do something. I think it'll be, I don't know, but we will. I need a permanent lady. Yeah, it'd be nice to have a girlfriend. We'll see. But I'm not going to settle, you know what I mean? All right, from Richard Ship. How were Lauren and Jennifer as crewmates? Both seem to have good attitudes. Lauren's great. Has a great attitude. Very helpful. Enjoyed having her on the boat. All right. Back when Stephanie was in your life, then she disappeared. Any updates or correspondence from Wade? Yeah, I actually talked to her just, a few weeks ago. She's great. She is finishing up her Doctor of Audiology. I think she's doing her, what do they call that when doctors have to do their residency? I think she's doing that. She's got like a year's residency before she's like let go or something. But she's doing great. Yeah, so. All right. Okay, still got a few sections here. Personal and lifestyle. Did sailing in Greece with Aubrey and her baby spark any feelings of wanting kids yourself? Will patrons be invited to your wedding if you propose to Lauren? That's from David. It might have gone the other way. Having a kid on that boat, I'm like, oh my God, this is a lot of work on a boat. having a kid. Because, I mean, especially 11-month-old, that the baby was getting pretty mobile and like always trying. I don't even know. I'm going to bleep that out because I don't even know. Hang on. Now I have to put like a spike in here so I know what I'm doing. See, I can't say those words or the video gets, it bleeped out. It's so stupid that YouTube and stuff does that, but you have to like self-censor yourself or you don't make any money on the videos, so whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, it's a lot of hard work having a baby on a boat. Maybe it was even more difficult because it was a charter boat and the boat was not baby-proofed. If you could baby-proof that boat, like put like basically a playpen where the kid can't leave and can't crawl off the side of the boat or fall downstairs or open a drawer with knives in it, like that'd be a lot easier. But on a charter boat, that was a lot of work because that baby was always moving around, like threatening to do something. And, you know, it's just, a lot of work. What was I doing that? Will patrons be invited to your wedding if I propose to Lauren? I doubt it. Patrons, sure, but I doubt the whole Lauren thing. She's got a boyfriend, so anyway. Okay, I've noticed YouTube channels posting AI-generated videos about your net worth and personal life. How do you feel about them? Are they accurate? That's from Michael. Yeah, I mean, like, the first time or two I saw them, I was like, man, I was pissed. I'm like, they're just taking all my footage and, like, profiting off of my footage. But, you know, I mean, I guess it's good press because, like, surely, I mean, I imagine most people that watch those videos probably watch Sailing Doodles, right? That's why they're doing that, right? They're just trying to get you guys to watch. But there might be some people that have no idea who it is, or maybe they watch that video and they're like, man, we haven't watched in a long time, so they'll go back and watch. So, like, I'm cool with it. It's cool. I am surprised by some of the stuff, how accurate it is, but then they get things completely wrong. I think their valuation on earnings and all that is way wrong, and not close at all. And then a lot of the stuff they get completely wrong too, like relationships. Like they're like the last one I saw, they're like, he's already sailing his new catamaran, whatever, blah blah. I'm like, no, I don't know where you're getting that. But yeah, I mean, when I first saw them, I was a little annoyed. You know, they're just trying to profit off of my hard work, but whatever, it is what it is. I mean, I guess technically it might even be fair use of my footage and all that, because they're not actually portraying it as their own. They're commenting on it. I'm not worried about it. Finances and operations. If you had a double revenue kind of year, what would you do with that extra money? Invest it. For sure. I would, I would invest it. For sure. I've actually had, I've had companies reach out lately, multiple. I mean, I don't know how many of them are scams or how many of them are real, but like I've actually looked into a couple of them just because I'm like, is this legit? I've had several emails from companies, and you're seeing this a lot on YouTube these days. Like some big name creators sold their channels, like Veritasium. That would be what's his name? I can't remember his name. Veritasium. For the guy that started it, he sold Veritasium. I mean, I'm sure he's still a partial owner or something, but basically he sold it for I don't know how many millions of dollars, because he got like 3 or 4 million subscribers or whatever, and his views get 500,000, 1 million views, 2 million views per video. He sold his company, and I'm sure he got some kind of cash payout. He still has to do, like, you can tell he's not doing any of the production now. Now all he's doing is doing voiceover, and then he'll occasionally be on camera talking about it, but he's got other people doing the, going out and filming the stuff and talking about it on camera, and he's now just doing voiceover and whatever. So I've had companies approach me, they want to buy, and then most of them have been like, hey, we want, we'll give you X amount of dollars for 30% of your revenue for the next 2 years. And it's really not that bad, but I'm like, I don't need it. I mean, like, I don't need the money. Why would I mean, there's nothing I need money up front for right now. I mean, like, I don't have any big purchases that aren't already paid for. So I haven't thought about doing that. I mean, and I think they're kind of wary, like those kind of companies now are maybe a little bit wary of doing deals with, like I'm the face of Sailing Doodles, right? If all of a sudden somebody came in and bought my show and then I'm just doing the voiceover, people, I mean, it's better than starting from nothing, trying to start a YouTube channel, but I'm sure a lot of people, and I'm not, this isn't me being egotistical or whatever. It's just that I think a large part of the audience would or watch because they're interested in what I'm doing or whatever. And so I think they would, the views would drop significantly. So why would I sell part of the channel and then continue to do what I do for a salary or less income? It just makes no sense to me to do that. So, I mean, if the right deal came along, maybe I'd think about it. But I'm more keen to like do like the boiled frog thing eventually. Like in a couple years, bring on crew that are full time, and then we're all making content together. So that then the viewer gets invested in them as a person and them as the creator, and then I can start taking time off and step away. And that's what I plan to do long term for the channel. But like, I don't know when I'm going to do that. I keep saying 3 to 5 years, but I've said that for the last 3 to 5 years. And it's just I'm enjoying it. Maybe when I stop enjoying it, I'll do that. So I don't know, but that's just kind of I would invest the money. Because I would like to be able to retire early. You know what I mean? I'll never fully retire. I mean, like, I don't know how anybody. I mean, I guess if you worked as a manager of a, bank or something, and then you can retire. But like, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur, and entrepreneurs I don't think I couldn't. I mean, I would gotta be so bored if I just sat home and said I don't have to work anymore. I'd be like, what's my driving purpose in life? You know what I mean? So I don't think I'll ever fully retire. I'd like to reduce the workload. So even if that's not handing the reins over sometime, even if that's just like bringing on, crew that does the editing and the filming, and then I don't have to do that anymore. Which that's absolutely what I might do in the next year or two. Although I have thought about, so when I get the new cat, so I have thought about doing kind of charters on it, like maybe one week a month, do charters and like rent out, for, I don't know, like a boat like that would easily charter for $25,000. And so, but the only thing is I would only have 2 cabins to do. So it's probably have to, anyway, that'd be an extra, if I do that for like a couple years, 2 or 3 years, and then invest all that money plus all my other earnings and everything. Stock all that away so I can, retire-ish. I mean, I'll never fully retire, like I say, but all right. How do you budget for trips with and without crew differently? Why isn't it putting the names on here? So ChatGPT obviously messes up quite a bit, but what I did is I didn't read these questions beforehand. I just went to Patreon and the Sailing Doodles Navy on Podia, and then on the channel memberships, I just I make a post, say ask me anything, and then I after a day or two later, I go back and I just copy all the questions, put it in ChatGPT, and what I said I told it Chat, because it knows me by now, so ChatGPT actually remembers you now and everything, so like I don't have to get into as deep of stuff on it, but sometimes it messes up. Like I said, I want you to organize by topic, questions from my viewers for a podcast, combined repeat questions, put in an order from most interesting, and then boom, it popped it out into all these sections and all that. So, but for some reason it got the names wrong. It does that sometimes, so I don't know. So how do I budget? I don't. So Aubrey and I, it was kind of a last minute trip on this thing. So we didn't really talk about anything, but like we got the boat for free as a sponsorship, basically. So like if you notice, we were promoting their charter company in Greece, and it went really well for them. They were already asking me to do another one next year and do a flotilla with them, so I probably will. So Aubrey and I had just picked out those dates, and like we were just trying to find something to make it work. Like if we couldn't find a boat or we couldn't find a sponsor, we were just going to charter one. Because charter boats over there are relatively cheap. I think that boat we chartered only charters for $4,500 a week. So that's only $1,500, $1,800 per. No, not even that. $1,500 per couple, whatever. Or no, it'd be less than that. $1,100 per couple or whatever if you're going to charter that boat. I hope my camera doesn't get too hot there. It says it's overheating, so I'll try to get through these. Anyway, So I don't really budget them. But yeah, I mean, we just kind of, she would pay for dinner some nights, I would pay for dinner some other nights, whatever. Do you know the maintenance estimates for your new boat versus what you're spending now on the CT56? I mean, it's got to be considerably less, right? I don't even know, but considerably less because it's all new equipment. And it's electric motors, so you don't have to do oil changes or anything like that. The electric motors are very maintenance friendly, right? The only thing I need to change the oil on and stuff like that is the big generator, and I got 5,000 watts of solar, and so like you don't have to run the generator very often, and so like I think it's gonna be a lot less maintenance on the Sailing Cat than it is gonna be on this boat for sure. So, my light went out. It overheated. Sorry guys if this, yeah. Well, I'm really looking forward to get a proper YouTube studio, podcast studio. So, all right, miscellaneous. We'll do the last section because my camera is overheating here. But what I've started doing is I'm recording it. So I was hooking up that camera to my laptop and recording it on my laptop, but it was only doing 1080p and the quality wasn't great. And just it was getting some loss in the transmission too. So now I'm recording on my camera in 4K, then I go back and transfer the footage and edit it. So, and now, it's been recording in 4K for 41 minutes now. So it heats up quite a bit, and it's hot in here. So miscellaneous. I've been trying to follow your boat vessel on Vessel Finder, but it says does not recognize Sailing Doodles. Is there another name to use? That's from Chad. The name of this boat is not Sailing Doodles. The name of the boat is Nauti Dogs, Nautidogs, but it's not on Vessel Finder under that name. So I do that on purpose, just for a little privacy. I used to have a tracker for patrons and stuff like that, but it made the girls a little nervous having people know where we are, so we stopped doing the vessel tracker. We do still do it, so when we're doing an open ocean crossing or something like that, I'll turn on the vessel tracker so that patrons and channel members and the Sailing Doodles Navy can track us, so it's another perk you get. But just day-to-day sailing around in common places, yeah, we turn it off just for safety and security. I'm sorry guys, but that's just kind of the way it is. I mean, like, for me, it's not that big a deal, but for the girls on board, they were getting a little nervous about it, so we stopped doing it. But all right, so that is the Ask Me Anything podcast. Thank you guys. Reminder, if you will, just get on Spotify and subscribe to the Sailing Doodles on Spotify or Apple, wherever you get your AirPods, podcasts, whichever one you do. It just kind of helped generate some traffic on that, so I thank you guys. And of course, we've got the Annapolis Boat Show with the Island Spirit 5525. If you want to come see that, there's links down below. Also, we got a flotilla coming up very soon. We're going to sign up probably in the next week or so in Antigua. Would love to see you guys sail with us. If you want to get first dibs at that, because I'm sure it'll sell out from patrons. And so then we might try to add a couple more boats, but we'll see what's available after that point because it's kind of a short notice. So, yeah, if you definitely want to come on that flotilla, be sure to sign up as a patron or on the Sailing Doodles Navy, and you get first dibs at it. So please like and subscribe to this video. Share it with somebody if you think it's cool, and I will see you on the next one.